sweat. Like I just finished my set. Sweatpants, head tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. Rather see you butt naked and laying in your fucking thong. When I get home, let's get it on.
Know you got a roommate. Call me when there's no one there. Put the key under the mat and you know I be over there. I be over there. Shout it, I be over there. I be hitting all the spots that you ain't even know is there. And y'all don't even have to ask twice. You can have my heart or we can share it like the last slice. Always felt like you were so accustomed to the fast life. Have a nigga thinking that he met you in a past life. Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that y'all don't take it wrong. Y'all don't even trip when friends say you ain't bringing Drake along. You know that I'm working, I'll be there soon as I make it home. If she impatient in my waiting room, never pay attention to the rumors and what they assume. Until them girls prove it, I'm the one that never get confused with.
Devastated over 150 of the world's major regions and is spreading rapidly. At this point in time, we know of only one method of killing the creatures, or destroy the brain. Be on the guard of any loved ones who may have recently been in any sort of contact with the infected. And if you find yourself in a threatened position, please do not hesitate to act. Again, this is not a test. This is not a joke. We as a species are overwhelmed. We are outnumbered.
The world is broken. We are the last choking embers of a fire waiting to burn out. Long before our grandfathers and their fathers before them, we started pulling our planet apart in the name of progress and blind ambition. The greed of man has devoured this earth until there was nothing left. We watch as time eats us alive. A generation born to witness the end of the world.
What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for tuning in. We have awesome guests today, but before I hurry and get to them, I'll hurry and run through our sponsors podcast. CoverItInVinyl.com. Use the code word or promo code podcast. You get 20% off of our stickers. Salt City Float Spa. Go to saltcityfloat.com, and that's for the sensory deprivation tanks. You can get an hour for $40 right now. Just tell them that you heard about it on the podcast. Oh my gosh, I have to burp because we're drinking beer. Well, some of us are, except for poor Hunter. Then, what else do we have? I'm trying to think. Oh, craveventure.com. Go check out craveventure.com. It's a new site that I kind of started up for fun. We'll see if it takes off. If you like adventure, if you like hiking, biking, mountain climbing, kayaking, river rafting, fishing, hunting, if you're a nudist, whatever, join. It's fun. You can meet other people likewise that like the same things, and you guys can decide to go camping together, start a bonfire, murder someone together, whatever you want to conspire to do, have fun. It's craveventure.com, craventure.com. Check it out. It's great. And then, do you have a website for your book? Yeah. This is Ryan, by the way. Ryan's on the podcast. Ryan Hogan.
It's gentleman'sbistro.com.
Okay. Maybe spell it out. Because I have no idea how to spell bistro.
Fair enough. It's GENTLEMANS bistro.com.
Bistro. Okay, check it out, you guys. And then we'll hop into this. But Hunter's here as well. He's our little co-host today. And he's hanging out. This guy just accomplished a big goal. His first big goal in life, and that is actually accomplishing the high school diploma. A lot of people don't do it. You'd be surprised, especially nowadays. I feel like more kids are stuck to their cell phones, would rather go slough and do nothing than get a high school diploma. Or GED, that's great. But you did it, dude. I'm proud of you. So I think that's awesome. What's your next big step in life? So you're doing school.
Yeah, going to UVU.
UVU. What are you doing? What do you want to do?
I got a few scholarships. Probably just going to go for pre-engineering for now, and then maybe transfer over to the U or...
That's where
something
my brother-in-law went, was the U. Loved it. He said there's a great engineering program there, whatever the hell. Dude, I have no idea what engineering really is. I know there's a million things it can be.
Yeah.
Are those guys so what do you physically want to do? You wake up in the morning, you get in your car, you drive to work, and what do you do?
What do I do?
What do you want to do?
That's where, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of like set on pre-engineering right now and engineering in general, because there's just so many different things you can do with engineering.
Like, do you want to build a building and design it,
or
are you like
more like technical stuff? I guess, like, because I mean, there's just so much you can do. Like civil engineering is like bridges, structural buildings, stuff like that.
And that excites you? That's cool.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, like architecture.
It's very different. That's
like,
cool though.
And then there's like petroleum engineering, like I was talking to you about downstairs, like extracting oil and stuff. And I think
there's a lot of good money in that, man.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go. That's not going away anytime soon.
So, I don't know. I haven't, not 100%.
Hey,
I don't know. Maybe I'll go.
You don't need to be. And you know what? That's the thing, is a lot of kids will go. I mean, I kind of did. I think everyone does. And then you find a different path that works for you. Or maybe it's the exact path. Maybe you're stuck with it because you love it. And that's awesome, because the world needs more engineers and doctors and things like that, I guess.
So, I guess in December I'll come back and let you know how.
Okay.
School's going.
Please do. I think that's awesome, dude. But congratulations. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. We have Ryan on the podcast. I'm going to try to set this mic up a little bit better so it's angled more. All right, guys. I hope you can hear us well. Ryan, we met on Facebook. I think I don't know if it was through an entrepreneur post. I don't know what it was or something like that, but I randomly saw you. I met you. I think I met you later on, but I mean, I think it was the vodka thing or something really cool. Yeah, and I saw it. So this guy has an awesome concept. He still owns. It's awesome. We won't talk much about it. We'll keep it secret. Unless you want to. Do you want to talk about your...
Oh, we go into it, yeah.
Okay. So he had a vodka business. Still owns it. So don't try stealing it. There's no way you can. But this guy owns a cool business that... that's his next little venture, possibly. And it was called... What was it called?
50 caliber vodka.
And it was the coolest bottle. I don't know, maybe you can Google it, but it was a bullet, like a 50 caliber bullet, and you screw off the top, and you pour it. Just, dude, seeing it, if you were in the liquor store and you're looking at vodka, you're buying that. And also, it's a great market here, living in Utah. You know, that's a manly man vodka drink. You know, like a guy's not going to feel bad walking out with 50 caliber vodka. That's a Dan Bilzerian type drink, man. That's cool.
Absolutely.
You should get that guy to endorse it, man. That's selling candy. But
True, very
I saw that, it exploded in me. I was like, that is awesome. This guy's cool. And I started looking through all your pictures, and sure enough, you were a badass. Yeah, you have tattoos. Dude, I love your tattoos.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was just like, this guy's got the drive, he's got the motivation, he's doing stuff, and yet he's still considered, I guess, I consider under 30 a young entrepreneur, I guess.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome, which I'm hoping you're under 30, right?
I am.
Okay, good.
This month.
Really?
Yeah, next month.
Oh, well, either way, you hit it up when you were younger, so. But, yeah, dude, that vodka was awesome. And still, I'm excited to see it grow and build. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
But,
We're excited.
Let's, how do we want to dive? How did you find out, first off, that you were an entrepreneur? Or that you wanted to kind of do your own thing? I mean, what any lemonade stands as a kid? What was your first little...
You know, I started washing cars as a kid.
Washing them?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I was...
Like just in the neighborhood? Or?
I was like 13, yeah, just doing a neighborhood car wash thing. And then, high school started, and that kind of detoured me.
Sure.
Joined the Navy.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I almost thought of it. I really seriously thought about it, because at one time I felt like, and I don't want you to take offense, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't really want to do college, high school. I saw there was a good documentary called, it was some PBS documentary. It was like 10 episodes of it. Carrier is what it was called. It's all about the Navy. They were on there, showed you from boot camp to starting, and you kind of follow these 6 or 7 people on the Navy and their different jobs, and it excited me, dude. And I love the ocean, I love water, but also it's travel. You got to go and travel.
Of course.
It's good structure. Obviously, you're getting paid. Healthcare coverage, things like that. At a time where I didn't see anything going, that was my first. I was going to do that, or I really wanted to do Coast Guard, but anyways, it didn't end up happening for me. But I thought that was awesome. So how did you go about? I guess how did you go into finding the Navy for you?
My dad was in the Navy.
Okay.
Grandpa was in the Air Force. So big military family.
Sure.
So naturally, after high school, it was Navy or Air Force. Ended up going with the Navy and was a medic. Hospital corpsman is what we're called.
That's cool.
Yeah. So did that for a while. Then I moved into orthopedics and then ended up specializing in obstetrics, catching babies.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's a little wild ride there. That's not a normal, I guess, a Navy job. I don't know what I was thinking about doing. Probably just cleaning or something. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever they'd make me do, I guess. It scared me too much.
There's a lot of those guys that just go in not knowing, and they get put wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing. I think that if you don't, either way, I mean, did you like it? Would you say, if you had to go back and do it again, would you have done the same thing? Or
yes,
would you have
I learned a lot.
Good.
I learned a lot from the experience.
Would you say you grew up a lot straight out of high school?
Oh, definitely. The military is an entirely different culture, so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, going after that, what kind of happened after in your life after Navy?
Well, after the Navy, I ended up managing a title loan company when I moved back here to Utah.
Uh-huh. So title loan cars?
Yeah,
houses?
that sort of thing.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So then after that, I started a motorsports company because I was really into cars. I got into cars when I was in San Diego.
Yeah.
And I was racing them out there, came out here, saw a need in the drift scene, and started up a company called Drift Enterprise.
Nice.
So I started hosting all the drift events out at Rocky Mountain Raceways. Then we expanded to Miller Motorsports Park and started doing the ride-alongs, creating videos. And I think we still have our YouTube channel, Drift Enterprise, on
YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. So
okay, look it up, guys. I'll look it up after, and I'll try to post a link under our thing. So try after. If you're not listening to this live, check. There should be under a thing under Spreaker of this YouTube channel, I guess. So when you're saying ride-alongs, you're saying people were filming next to the driver, I guess?
They were jumping into the car with the driver, sliding 70 miles an hour around a track.
So would you do this? Were you a drifter?
I drove a little bit, yeah. The main reason
awesome.
I started it was to drive, but then I got pulled into the business aspect of it, and unfortunately I didn't get to drive as much as I wanted to.
Sure, but I think that's a great idea. So how did you get into that? How do you decide, all right, we're going to find a bunch of people that drift cars? Like, how do you convince Rocky Mountain Raceway we're going to do this?
Well, we were on a forum. We had like a Utah drift forum.
Okay.
And
so
everybody talked
there
about
was a need.
Yeah, they kept talking about how they wanted. And then one night, a couple of the guys hosted a get-together. And I said, well, what about Rocky Mountain Raceways? It's the closest, most convenient. Let's try and hit that up. And And they said that they had already reached out to them and tried. And so I just went down to the office one day and said, hey, I'd like to sit down with you. This is what I'm thinking, and I'd like to present this plan.
Yeah.
Laid it out. They loved it.
That's awesome.
Started our first season a few weeks later.
That's crazy.
So how many people like are in the drift world, I guess? You know what I'm saying? Like how many people out there like drift cars, you know what I'm saying? Professional.
Was there a big
like is it like
crowds
a big
people that would
need
come out?
or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. It was about 20 or 30 at the time. Mm-hmm. Then we expanded. I think the biggest driver count we had was around 40, 45.
That's crazy. And people would just drive. What was the crappiest car you ever saw drifting, I guess?
I saw was it a Bel Air, a classic.
Uh-huh.
So that was the most odd car.
Okay, sure.
Not worst. The worst, I would say. I know there's a lot of Mazda Miata fans out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan.
Not a drifting thing.
No.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's funny. I've always, and I don't want to talk shit on people who maybe drive a Mazda and stuff. But
Right. To each their own.
Yes, yeah. It's just I've always maybe gotten a good laugh if someone is really trying to pimp out their Mazda 3. Like I had a good friend, Alex. I love you, man. But it's like it's still a Mazda 3. Like the money you put into it, you could have got. You know, and again, that's your thing. That's your baby. Me, I had a WRX. I loved the car, but I left it completely stock. Left it alone. Why? I don't know why.
Well, it's
had
a
better
terrible
resale,
investment.
but amen. But cars are cool. I like cars. That's all.
Oh, I love cars.
Do you?
It's where my heart is.
What's your favorite car you've ever driven?
Favorite would be. I'm a sucker for Nissan 240s.
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah.
That's awesome.
I had a really built one. I think I hit 169 on the straightaway at Miller, and yeah, I was.
What a feeling, man!
it.
That's got to be insane.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So you kind of start doing that. You're figuring out that obviously there's a good scene. A lot of people like it. Mm-hmm. How did you? Would you just? How would you make? I guess money from drifting. For people coming in, would they just? There's a classic charge to enter, and then you just make a percent.
Yeah, they'd pay their registration fees, and the track would take a piece of that, and then we would facilitate the event and make sure we are paying for safety as well.
Yeah,
all the ambulances and such.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that worked out well. What happened after that? So how long did you do that?
I did that for 2.5 years. The beginning of the second year, Rocky Mountain Raceways brought me on as their corporate and group sales director.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first transition to the corporate side of working.
Uh-huh.
And so after about 1.5 years, I sold my share of the company and just hit up the corporate and group sales director position full time.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you stuck it out there. You liked it. What were your duties as that? And by the way, did you have any schooling technically for that, or were you just you learned, you picked it up, and you were the man for the job?
Yeah, they saw the skills that I had put into creating this drift company.
Yeah.
From nothing, and the demand and how it was growing, and they wanted the similar type growth in their business model. So
sure, are they still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they host figure 8 trains and all sorts of crazy stuff out there. It's awesome.
I need to go.
Drag races.
Yeah,
it's a great time. We should go out,
dude. I'm down. I'm down to go. I've never been. All my friends would go. Did they do something like Friday nights or something?
Yeah,
like
the midnight drags. Yeah,
that's what my friends go to and stuff, and they love it. And my friends will sometimes do it with their cars and stuff. It'd just be fun to see. But I don't know. I've always loved cars. Dude, I want to see some Lamborghinis. I want to see. I've seen one in Utah one time. No, I've seen a couple, but one really close. Just driving by it, it was just top back. It was rainy, and the guy didn't even care. It was this beautiful yellow Gallardo, dude. And oh man, that's what I want to start doing is getting this GoPro, and maybe start making some entrepreneurship videos around, like obviously the luxury, the mystery on a millionaire thing, but go and contact some of these guys with these nice cars and just do ride-alongs with them.
There's quite a few people.
Hear their story out.
There's quite a few people in Lehigh that have like luxury cars.
I've seen one in
there's like a Maserati.
Yeah, I've seen
the blue one.
I've seen they're starting to pick up. That's
cool.
There's
an event, Cars and Coffee. They host every Saturday, I think, down there in
there's some decent
the River
cars?
Valley. Yeah, there's crazy cars, $100,000 cars.
Awesome, dude. I need to go check it out.
For sure.
I love that stuff. So you did that for a while, the corporate stuff. What then? What happens kind of after that, or with it? I don't know.
I got recruited to do some social media marketing for this company called Clear out of American Fork. And that ended up developing into just general marketing, starting new direct sales channels for them, diversifying to digital media.
Sure.
And now it's magazine editorials, publications, and website management, reputation management.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great time. Love it.
Tell us a little bit about Clear. I had no idea what it was. At first, I'll be honest, I thought it was an MLM or something like that. Because they always pop up on that road. There's that no name, and there's this, and there's that. And I thought it was another, it's going to be in and out. And then my friend worked there, and he was saying, there's some mints and some stuff. And he dropped off some mints one time. He's like, you should try these. They're really cool. And he just... Was it xylitol?
Yeah, xylitol.
Okay. That's what he was telling me, and I didn't really understand. I was like, oh, they taste good. Okay. But I didn't understand the whole benefits of the point. So what is xylitol, would you say?
Xylitol is a natural sweetener. The biggest difference between sugar and xylitol is that xylitol is a 5-carbon sweetener. So bacteria and such recognize it as sugar, but when they try to ferment it or try to form biofilms and cause tooth decay and things like that, they're unable to in a xylitol-rich environment. And so they're naturally washed away.
So it's great. So tell me some benefits for it. I mean, other than doing that, I mean, what are some really high benefits of having it? Is there... I guess if it's not a sugar blocker, it's more just it's kind of like
a replacement.
Natural alternative.
Okay, so kind of like one of those.
It's like Splenda, but good for you.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So the benefits of it compared to Splenda would be what?
Would be it has a low glycemic index of 7 versus sugar at 83. So
seriously?
The insulin response is minimal.
Okay, that's awesome.
It has 2/3 the calories of sugar. So
okay. Any health? I mean, that is health benefits, but like what is it really good for? I mean, there was the mints thing. Is that just good for your breath, or is it? I mean,
what really shines is in the dental industry.
Okay.
You know, the tooth decay causing bacteria, they can't stick to the teeth. It populates all the bonding sites on the bacteria, so they're naturally washed away.
Okay.
And then it helps to facilitate remineralizing. It raises the pH and helps those calcium ions strengthen your teeth.
Okay, cool. So just, I don't know what else I'm talking
about. A sugar that's great for your teeth.
Good. You were telling me, what are some other products that they sell besides, I guess, mints?
Our number one selling product is actually a nasal spray.
Okay.
And the reason that they put it in that nasal spray is that the ear infection and sinus infection causing bacteria aren't able to stick to the nasal tissue. It populates all the bonding sites on those as well, and they're naturally washed out. It maximizes the efficiency of the ASL, the fluid in your sinuses, and helps the cilia sweep out any allergens and things.
Dude, I probably need this. Like, I feel, and I think we talked about like chilies and stuff, but yeah, and
for sure,
I need to try it out, dude. So some nasal spray, and that's your number one seller. That's awesome.
Number one seller, 14 years now.
Wow, so they've been around for a while then, I guess. So they're just getting very, very big, I guess.
Yeah.
Now. Or maybe they've always been. I'm just barely finding that out. That's probably it. That's probably it. So you love the company. You're working there. Tell me, let's figure out some more stuff about entrepreneurship-wise. What's your highest goal that you really want to accomplish in life, I guess?
That's a big question.
Yeah. And that is I guess that's a huge question. What are some things that, I guess, a hard time with any celebrity or people or, really driven business people or even myself, I can get some cool things or maybe a feature here and there and stuff. But my drive never seems to die because it's not, and I don't want to be rude, but it's not good enough for me. Like, I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel the full, say I own a giant business. Maybe I have my business and I sell it for, say I create an Instagram and all right, Facebook, here's $1 billion. I'm not done. Like, at whatever age I am, I can't just sit back, retire, go on cruises. Right? You would think, yeah. What kind of drives do you have? What are some things that you can start imagining or visualizing that you want to accomplish in life? Goals.
I'd say one of my biggest objectives is empowering people. I think that everyone out there is brilliant. It's just a matter of empowering them and letting them see that.
Turn on that little light, yeah.
Right, exactly.
So kind of a Tony Robbins type thing, in a way. Just a motivational, but waking them up.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's actually what I want to be. I want to do either with life coaching / motivational speaking, talking, something around, or coaching, like what we were doing in our little groups and fun stuff. I love doing that because I also get to hear them out. And the best part about that, and maybe you realize this too, when you talk to maybe friends, people see you're doing well. I mean, Ryan, you really are doing well. People see this, you're doing great. You've got good things going on in your life. You're an awesome father, which we'll talk about fatherhood in a minute. But just that, you're people see you're doing well. They come to you, they ask you. When I sense, like Hunter here was saying, we should start doing these meetups again that we would do for talking about like positive thinking. The best thing I get out of it is I get something out of it. It's not just like, oh, let me coach you, like math tutoring or something. It's like it's the exact opposite. It's when I'm telling Hunter and Hunter has a question, it allows me to look in the mirror and think about myself. And am I doing what I'm saying these guys should do? Am I trying? And then you hear and learn other ways. Your brain starts pulling out stuff out of this filing cabinet that you need to start doing with your life. How is it for you? And this is kind of my bubble, whatever you want to call it, but being an entrepreneur drives me nuts. Like if I could, I would pay good money to turn it off sometimes. I mean, I love it more than anything, but my mind never stops. I see a business, I see a movie, I see this. They should have done this, that. Oh, this. Or you see another business and they're not doing this. Why? It drives me nuts. And everywhere I look, no matter what, I can't turn it off. And it drives me insane, but I love it because I just see tons of stuff. Do you feel something similar, I guess? Or?
Certainly. There's just so much opportunity out there that once you get in that state of mind of, they could be doing this better. How could I help them?
Yep.
That's what starts it.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, well, that's good to help them in that area, but how can we maintain this identity across all spectrums? How can we take this, expanding in the digital media area and in the trade shows? How can we really build this brand, build this identity, and have everyone know and be able to identify with it, be personal?
For sure. Yeah. It just drives me nuts. But again, I would never
trade it.
Yeah, ever. Because it's not something everyone has. And I try to almost think what it would be like to not think or be that way. Like, my wife, she's like, no, she is like me, I guess, but not as crazy. She's a little bit more mellow. The ideas will come, or I'll send her the ideas, and she's more of a doer. She keeps me completely structured, business-wise, mind-wise. This is the goal. Okay, what are we going to do to complete it? Me, I just on to the next one. I'm thinking here, there, adding it all up and trying to think of a million ways to do it. But then sometimes, you ever get the burnout? You just get burnt out and you just want to be done. What do you do to make yourself either not get to that point, or when you get at that point, what do you do to kind of chill off and then come back to it? What are your kind of tactics and things? Maybe?
I work out twice a week. I work out in 2-hour blocks, and I usually get all my stress out that way.
That's good.
For a while, it was racing before, and then once I was recruited into the corporate world, started doing all of that stuff, then I didn't have so much time. And then I just went out to the track last weekend, and
I saw that, yeah, on Instagram or whatever. Did it help you? I
fell back in love with it. I mean, lateral G's, and all you think about is what's coming up ahead of you. It's a beautiful thing.
How would you put that?
Mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of philosophical in a way. If you can just, people like the best one I like that's out of The Secret that has to do kind of with cars or whatever. But there's that one guy he's talking about. Like all you have to see, if you're driving from New York to Los Angeles in the middle of the night, say it's completely black the entire way. All you need to see is your 2 headlights and the 20 feet ahead of you. Just that next 20 feet. You can drive all the way there as long as you can see that next 20 feet. I think so many people get bummed out or burnt out because they see way, way far into the future and where they want to go, or money. A lot of it is just, I want this much money, but they don't. They're missing the next 20 feet. They're missing the fun stuff, enjoying that next 20 feet, the view. If I'm
the
driving
journey, the experience of all of it.
It's a crazy song, but it makes a lot of sense. Once it was one day, I don't know. I guess I was bummed or whatever, but it all made sense all of a sudden. And this was before Miley got all crazy, but it's that one song called "The Climb" or whatever. Here, I'm just going to read some of the lyrics or whatever out of it. But the Miley Cyrus song, it's called "The Climb." I'm not going to play it for you, but it's pretty much. There's some really good lines in it that just pretty much says, here she is. She's absolutely famous. She's crazy right now and stuff. But it's all about that climb. Like she'll always, again, if I would have sold Instagram, now what? You got to keep climbing. You have to keep doing something. So let me see. Well, anyways, the chorus pretty much just says, there's always going to be another mountain. There's always going to, or I'm always going to want to make another move. It's always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're just going to have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. It's all simply about enjoying that, again, the journey, the next 20 feet, the climb, the view. You know, if I drive from here to American Fork, look at those fucking mountains. Like, those are intense. Like, anywhere. Or, you know, Cottonwood Canyon or Park City on the way up. Don't just look at the look around, enjoy it. That's beautiful. You're only going to see it for that next little bit of existence that you're in. And it's always changing. And it's always this climb thing. But I think a lot of mistakes that, and I started, especially, when starting entrepreneurship or just kind of realizing it, is just being focused on this end goal instead of enjoying the little pieces and bits and realizing it is the stair.
The little victories, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The little victories, the little things like, oh, okay, I made my first sale. Or, you know, I made $10 more than I did last month. Or maybe it was 99 cents more or whatever. But that little, instead of being disappointed that, oh, I didn't make what you're doing better, you're growing, you're getting, or I meet Ryan, so now we're now exchanging totally different ideas. Maybe he read the book that I offered him, which apparently he did.
Yeah.
And
thank you for the recommendation.
And you pick up little things, and you just pick up this thing on the climb that pretty much you can learn to enjoy, and also that builds you to that next step. All you have to do is either meet another person who's already been on that floor, and maybe it's an elevator. I've been to the third floor before. Oh, you really? Well, how'd you get there? What'd you do?
Experience in the climb makes, once you get to the top, that much sweeter and that much better even.
Absolutely. Exactly. Well, so I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast today, and he was talking about he doesn't envy at all kids or people that grow up completely rich. Mom and dad, born, they're used to the limo rides, right? They're used to first class tickets. On an airplane, they're used to this, that. And the second that it's gone, they freak out. Oh my gosh. But for us, maybe it was a blessing to completely be, low, either, I hate calling it class, but, middle class or low class, not a lot of money and stuff. Because again, you appreciate when you make that big stride, or you make that first check, or someone offers a business, like, okay, come, for us, maybe come do some stickers for $300. That's a big, okay, it's some credibility. That feels good. Okay, we're going somewhere. This is working. Whoa. Yeah. It's not $30,000. It's not $3 million. It's not whatever. But it's like, oh, wow, this is real.
Someone's noticing.
And that's all it takes. And it's such a gratifying thing. But a lot of mistakes that I made back when I started doing this stuff. And again, those ideas, those things didn't end up always working out. But the stuff that I learned, priceless. I can't go to college and take a class on jump. You can read a book about swimming, or you can jump in the pool and have some friends kind of around you who have swam before and said, oh, no, kick like this, swim like this, play like this, or watch YouTube videos on this. You can do all you want and plan, and that's why college is good for engineering. I don't know how to build a bridge, and you'd have to go to school to learn that.
I don't want to go into a building that you build.
Yeah, hopefully, honestly. Yeah. Or an elevator. Can you imagine that? Like, that's the scariest thing ever. But it's the fact of, if you can pick up the little pieces, the next elevator, door, the floor, teach yourself, all YouTube videos. You'd be surprised what you can learn on YouTube nowadays. I'm sure with cars, I know that's what my dad did. Is he had this 4Runner, loved to death, but the only way he knew how to fix it, he never took it to the mechanic. He just straight up on YouTube. Someone showed him, how to fix your belt. Okay, this or this part or this. I had the same problem. Saved him how much money, but he learned. He taught himself. So next time that pops up, I don't even go to YouTube. I know. He didn't have to go to mechanic school and spend $30,000 or this or that. Right. And it's a cool thing. And entrepreneurship can't be taught, I think. You're either, I don't want to say you're born with it, because everyone can, it's the light. You have to turn on that light for someone to, wait, you're telling me I don't have to be in the system that I have to? And again, be in the system. Don't be stupid. So many people just start up their own businesses, and that's all they're doing. And then they go how much in debt. And how much money, and they spend how much money on business cards with their fancy name and the pens when they have no product or anything to sell. It's just, I'm still fancy though here, but you have nothing going for you. They blow so much money like that. The best companies, Apple. My buddy or my mother-in-law, she owns 10% of Lizard Skins. These companies started out of a garage. completely, you've seen Steve Jobs movie or whatever, and there's things, it's a reality, but look how big they get, because again, it's the climb, it's that drive, it's the whole fact of started from the bottom. We're really starting from the bottom, and it's going to make you appreciate it way more than the rich kid who, if I were to pay for, have enough money that I could pay for a flight from here to New York in first class, I'm going to appreciate the hell out of that compared to the kid next to me whose mom and dad paid for it. It's like winning the lottery. Same thing. It's if you win the lottery, that money is so much easier to spend compared to the guy who's out there excavating or whatever and spending and saving so much money to go on this fun trip. This guy's going to blow it, and before you know it, they're broke. And that's why The Millionaire Next Door, and we were talking about that, which we'll talk about probably right now, is a fantastic book to pick up to, especially someone out of high school. Yeah. Anyone. If you're 40 years old right now and you're still figuring out what you want to do or whatever, what I love about that book, and I want you to tell me here in a sec, but the number one thing I loved about that book is it made becoming a millionaire a complete reality. Very possible.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simplified it.
Yep. That by being frugal, saving your money, not getting this M3 Mercedes, M3 Beamer, and, getting, again, what you were saying earlier before the podcast started about, you tell it real quick, just about
minimizing your overhead.
The fact that you can be $100,000 a year you could be making.
Right, but if you have 90 going out the door on the new Mercedes, on the mortgage, on private school, all of those worldly wastes of money.
Exactly. The thought is pretty much exactly what you're saying, is that wealth is only what you have after your bills are paid.
Right.
You are a wealthy person after your bills are paid. What do you still have after
what are you keeping?
That mortgage?
It doesn't matter what you earn. It matters what you keep.
Exactly. That's what a wealthy person is, and that's why farmers do so well. I mean, drive by this mink farm over here. The guy, he drives the same damn Chevy truck that he's had since the 70s that he probably bought in cash, and he lives in that 4x4 trailer or whatever it is, and he's raking in so much money. Yes, I don't agree with mink farming. I think it's messed up. But the guy, or we'll say a pig farmer, the guy, he has pigs. He's got these crappy boards. He sets up, puts the pigs in there, but their cash flow coming in. He's a simple man, lives a simple, complete life. His kids don't need anything fancy. They're hard workers. They get out there 5 a.m. till 10 at night. They're working their ass off. But that guy, he's not going to drive a brand new Mercedes into the mud to go pick out and throw hay out of it. And it's the simple things. But that guy rakes in a lot more money because why? He doesn't need to pretend or to be this. He's wealthy. He's a millionaire. But he doesn't need to show a millionaire to be a millionaire. And that's what a lot of people
Warren
do.
Buffett, case in point.
Bingo. Still lives in the same house that he's since I think it's the 80s or something. Or he just has restored the inside. But still lives in the same house. There's no gate. You could go up and doorbell ditch Warren Buffett's house. Like it's that crazy. But the thing is how much money does that guy have because he's not blowing it? And also, it's about picking up smarts and stuff like that by learning. I don't need these things and being frugal, and that's what has been a really big key for Mikkel and I since that book. It was a huge mind changer. It's like, oh wait, you're telling me that everyone I'm seeing in the BMWs. I mean, what was it? There's only 10% of millionaires / deca millionaires that own a European luxury car. I don't think it's that. I think it's 1% or something crazy like that own anything. Yeah. It's a joke that will own, hence a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Mercedes, Beamer, on and on and on. But that will own that. But everyone I see in Alpine or driving on the freeway, and these people, you see the brand new Mercedes, and these people are, sure, they're making good money, but do you know how much the car loan for that is?
How much is going out the door,
Yeah. And what are you getting out of it? The resale on that is...
Yeah.
And the mansion, you buy maybe a $3 million house. Most millionaires own, on average, it's a $300,000 home because it's nice. It can totally go up in value. It can do well, but it's big enough that they don't need 200 rooms like these ones at the Temple and Draper. You don't need that crap. And they have, again, wealth's what you have in your pocket, not what you're showing and all this stuff. I know tons and tons of single guys and people that are making good money. I'm sure you're making good money and you're saving good money because you don't need to show it and blow it.
Exactly.
And it makes me laugh because it makes me feel so much better. Yeah, I see those cars. Don't get me wrong. I would love to own a brand new, Beamer and these things and these badass cars. I'd love to. And it's all part of the society drive that means I'm doing successful. I'm being, and that can be completely false because I know best friends my age who went into deep credit because the first car they bought was a Beamer used or whatever.
Right.
And also the parts. It's a joke. If you have a Beamer, the windshield wiper sensor is $900 itself. You know, it's like what? But
well, it comes back to socioeconomic conditioning. You know.
Yeah. No. Tell us more.
You don't have to play into these roles just because you're a successful doctor doesn't mean you have to. Oh, I'm a doctor, so I need to drive this Mercedes, or I need to drive this Benz, or just picking up all these worldly things that mean nothing. You know how much that BMW helped the world. You know how much it helped encourage people.
Yeah,
it didn't. It depreciated.
Well, drastically. And you're going from point A to point B. So from here to Walmart, and I go from here to Walmart in my Honda Civic. We're going same place. I'm going there a lot cheaper than the guy's paying a lot more for the metal. And yes, you get a nice navigation system. It's cool.
Oh, of course.
Don't get me wrong. It's badass. But it's like buying a boat. I see people buy those brand new $100,000 Malibu wake setters, and I see them, and I think, yeah, that's badass. There's two things. One, I can go and rent one. If I want to go rent one for the day, get a bunch of friends, we all pitch it, we split it up, boom, done. We have the same experience as that guy. Yeah, I don't get to go home and wash it. That's good.
That's good.
I save more money. That guy has to wash it. But here's the thing. That guy probably goes out on average, maybe there are people that use the hell out of it. If you do, good for you.
Good for you.
There's like 1% of millionaires that own a boat, and these guys are spending how much money on that? And then here in Utah, how many months does it sit in your driveway because you can't use it?
Yeah.
What? Like, how do you justify that in your head? It's badass. It's got a nice house. I mean, a nice boat, and it's cool. But on average, I know people here that maybe take it out 3 times a year ever. You know, and they're not. So is it worth it? No. Rent it. Terrible. Or find other ways, or don't. And I know so many people that try to split it. Oh well, we're all going to go in together on the boat. That's even stupider because if someone stops, then who has to fill in the gap there? Or if someone loses their job and they can't pay for it,
liabilities.
It just goes on and on and on.
Too high risk.
Jake here, he's from Australia. He's one of our friends. He was saying a basic home in Australia is like $400,000 house, and he said he really wishes he could move here and live here. Things in Australia are really expensive. I remember him talking to me and stuff, but they make a lot more. But again, things cost a lot more. It's kind of like Hawaii,
right?
Isn't it like $5 for a gallon of milk
like $6 for a gallon of milk?
Yeah. And I've never been. I'd love to go to Hawaii. And also another cool thing I've heard about Hawaii, and I don't know, maybe you've been there.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
I've been there a few times.
Is I've had a friend go there recently. He's like, I don't get it, and he's like, I really want to move there because I don't know what island he went to. It wasn't Honolulu. He said that was worse than like LA, just kind of trashy and dirtier. But he went to one of the islands. It was mainly all locals. He said it was fantastic. It was great. But what he loved is that everyone just grabbed their crappy Toyota pickups, went to the side of the whatever. They went out surfing, and then they just watched the sunset. And all the locals would do that. But they didn't need these big things. They need their surfboards. They need good friends, family, and some damn good Hawaiian food.
Easy.
But life's easy in that sense. Yes, you have to go to a job. You have to work. But life can be a lot happier and easy. And they don't have the Beamers, the things,
Of course.
And so it's the society, these things that we see and we need and we have to have. And don't get me wrong, I love luxury things. I would love to own a Lamborghini. But I'm not stupid enough to know that I can go out and buy a Lamborghini when I could buy another house for the same price and make way more money when I know every day or every mile I drive that Lamborghini is... Now, of course, if I'm making $50 million and I'm Dan Bilzerian or whatever, hell yeah, I'll get a Lamborghini. Why not? But realistically, it's not going to pay out unless you make a business of it, which I think would be a great idea to rent out. But that was
there's a few of those
insurance in a crash.
Go to Vegas.
Yeah, I've seen that. But it's like I think it's $50 a mile or something crazy like that. It's not even worth it. But they're making good money. They're paying it off. Make a business of it.
People want to experience it,
and
it's like the boat thing.
Everyone.
It's like the boat thing. You rent a boat and you take it back.
Yep.
That was great.
I had it. I did it. I could say I've driven it.
The Lambo, same thing.
Beautiful. Yep. I'm trying to think. Another cool thing out of that book, The Millionaire Next Door, was the part where they're like comparing the guy. And I've talked about this on the podcast, so if you've heard this before, guys, continue listening. The guy who, say it's me and then you. You go out, you decide you want to be a doctor. You're going to 7, maybe 8, maybe more years of college. Of course, mom and dad don't have enough money to pay for med school and this, that. So it's really all out of your pocket, all student loans. That's great. So you go because you really want to do it. And that's fine. If you want to be a doctor, do it. I have nothing against that. But again, we're just playing this out. Ryan goes 7, 8 years, whatever. We graduated the same year. 8 years for some weird, we'll say 10 years. 10 years we have our high school reunion. We're meeting up like, hey, Ryan, how are you? What have you been up to? You say, oh, I've been a doctor. I just barely graduated or something. I'm practicing in some form or whatever, or I just barely say you open up a new, you're a child. What's the kid doctors? The pediatrician. Yeah. You open up your own building. I know there's one here in Saratoga that is, it's a dental office, but same thing. $3 million he built the building for. On top of that, you had to buy all the equipment, the X-ray machines, obviously the chairs, the sittings, all of the equipment that you're going to need as a doctor and a pediatrician.
Right.
You obviously have to pay those lovely nurses that you got to have some damn good money. Then, of course, the secretaries make more than I make. So they make $15 an hour taking notes and papers and giving kids suckers. Then it goes on and on and on and on. And, of course, you need the huge saltwater tank with a badass fish. And on and on. You make this badass place. That's great. How much are you in debt compared to what you've made already in that? Realistically, then also, you got married. So now you have a house. You've got your kids. Say you have 3 kids. You bought a $1 million house. You're a doctor. Right. You need $1 million home. You got to move to Alpine. Naturally. So then, of course, your wife needs a Mercedes-Benz. You're a doctor's wife. You can't show up to church. How embarrassing would that be to be in a Ford Excursion or what? Okay, so we have to buy her a new car. Then the kiddos, of course, they need new clothes. They're the best. They're a doctor's kid. They have to be classy. Private school, of course. Yeah, none of this. They don't want with the wacky kids. So they go to the beautiful Challenger schools or whatever. They pay how much for each kid, plus the schools, plus the uniforms, plus all of the lacrosse team, the football or whatever, Chinese special class that they want to take, and all these things. How much money are you paying into that? And then on top of that, maybe you want a boat, so you buy $100,000 boat. Then it goes on and on. Then you have to buy yourself a car, so you can't drive a Mercedes. Your wife has that, so we'll go a Beamer, a nice Beamer, brand new M3. You're a doctor. I can't even add up the numbers right now of how much you're already in debt, Ryan. But you have this, that,
in debt because that's what you're supposed to do when you're a doctor.
Sure, yeah, right. And plus, you're paying off med school, and plus you have the $3 million building, plus the X-ray machine. This is probably $1 million itself, if it's one of the high tech ones, or who knows, whatever it is. You are realistically with $1 million. You're never going to pay it off. That's what you're in. You're at a point that you're owed probably over $10 million in debt. You're making your money, but how much of that money are you taking home? Because you have the car, you have the house, you have to have the kids' schools and their clothes and their sports, and then you have the building, then you have your employees, then you have your student loan, and then you have where does Ryan get paid in this? You don't. No. And then, say me, would talk to me, I started up a little cleaning company. I have four buddies, or just maybe, I know this sounds horrible, but some people that come and clean. And so I have 4 employees, and I get little contracts. Maybe I clean Subways after Subways closes, and my employees will go here and there. And anyways, I drove my shop minivan to the high school reunion, whatever. But I paid it off. It was a tax write-off. Then I have this. Then I have my 4 employees that are write-offs. And I have our cleaning sprays, and I have a nice vacuum or something out there that people use. So I have a total of 2 vans, one for them, one for me. And anyways, we go out, we do these things, and I have a total of, say, 15 contracts with little businesses. Maybe I hook it up with Clear, and I come clean your building after you guys close at night, and then we come wash your windows, we vacuum, we spray desks, we clean, we do everything, we refill the soaps, the bathrooms, on and on and on. Okay, there's one source of money, then the da-da-da-da-da. Anyways, I have 15 sources of money. Say Clear drops me for some weird reason. Well, that's okay, because I still have New Skin and pretty much 14 other sources of income. I live in a nice townhome by myself, a $200,000 townhome or something that's probably already paid off at this point. And then I'm just, I didn't go to college, so I don't have any student loans. I'm not driving some fancy car. Maybe I have just a Honda Civic. And I'm just driving it because I always use my work van anyways when I'm going to work, and I work out of my house, and I'll leave, and anyways, on and on and on and on and on. I'm making a lot more money than the doctor because I'm not in so much debt as the doctor. Again, wealth is what you have.
You're keeping a lot more.
Because, chemicals are only so much. Maybe I learned a few little tricks that I can save money. I pay my employees maybe $12 an hour. Then I have my contracts and these things. You get one malpractice, donezo. If you don't have a good lawyer and you're whatever, realistically, goodbye. That's it. I mean, here, I'll tell you a crazy story right now. This is a dentist, though. So where I was working, Mikkel's father-in-law was just in the hospital the other day for open heart surgery. He's all good. Wow. Everything's fine. But while I was there, I went back to work, and anyways, this guy I work with was telling me, hey, you want to hear a crazy story? I'm like, yeah, okay. So he's like, hey, so my son's best friend is down in the hospital, same hospital I was at. And I was there the day before, and I'd seen all these people bawling and crying in the waiting room and stuff in the ICU section. And I didn't know what was going on. I just knew something bad happened.
Yeah, right.
But so I just hung out there anyway. So sure enough, it was those people. It was like, yeah, my son was there with all of his friends and whatever, and they were all hanging out in the ICU room, waiting to hear back some news and stuff. And I'm like, well, what happened? And I'm like, oh, well, my son's best friend, was at the dentist. Normal thing. Just got a root canal, or not a root canal. I think he got a tooth pulled and some other stuff fixed and some completely normal stuff. But of course, I don't like to get my tooth pulled awake, so they put him under. They put the gas on him, stuff like that. Anyways, sure enough, he's doing this stuff, and they're pulling it. And I think they're fixing a cavity. And anyways, there's some gauze in his mouth, and he swallowed the gauze, and it went all the way down and stopped his heart for 4 minutes while they were working on him. He was dead. Done. Heart stopped, everything while just doing a normal procedure. They had no idea for a minute, and then they caught on. So for 4 minutes, they're trying to hook it out, fish it out, as he's lifeless on the dentist table or the dentist chair. And then
that's tragic.
I know. And then after that, 4 minutes. Anyways, 4 minutes later, they finally call 911. The ambulance finally shows up. However many minutes later, by then 20-minute drive all the way down to Provo, and then. Anyways, he's dead.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Just a normal, we're going to pull your tooth, this, that. He was under, swallowed it, couldn't warn him, couldn't tell him, shit. Stopped his heart for 4 minutes. The part of his brain, when they finally put him on the life support and stuff, the brain personality part, gone, done, brain dead, everything. It's horrible.
It's nuts.
And so that's what I'm saying is that guy is done.
Right.
Imagine, he has the car, the house, the family, the things like that. And I'm not saying don't be scared if you're going to be a doctor. Go do it. Just be smart. Be safe. Get good lawyers. Be, insurance and everything like that. But don't make a stupid mistake like that. I mean, no one ever expects, I'm going to the dentist today to die. Like, that's the last thing you ever would think of. Yeah. And it happened. And that's what I'm saying. Another thing is, try now. If you're going to do a business, try it now. You don't know if you're going to make it.
You don't, you never
this kid
know
was
when
22.
it's your time. I just got a notification today. Another guy I went to high school with passed away.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
My vodka business partner, he passed away last August, I believe.
See? And you never know. Obviously, no one knows when they're going to go. Yeah. Unless you're choosing to do it yourself. And even if so, I kind of respect that to an extent. But it's... Man, you never know when you're going to go, and that's what I'm saying. If you got big dreams, aspirations, some things you want to do it now. You don't know if it could be the dentist. Don't know. The other day we were driving. We're in this turning lane. Anyways, this car, complete red light, wasn't looking. Taxi driver just flew right by. And if we would have pulled out, I was just a second late on the green light. It would have been all three of us through the car dead. The guy was going 60 miles an hour, just flying as we were turning. We would have all been dead. And that's what I'm saying is four of us with a baby, like you would have never seen it coming. And if I were to die today, I've done a lot of good stuff. I'm happy. I'm not done yet. I'm not fucking done yet. I have so many things I want to do and drive a Lamborghini or whatever it is. Yeah. There's so many things that I've got to go do before I fucking die. And if I die, then I'd lived a good life. I'm happy. But until then, I'm going to fucking make sure every minute, every second is that next 20 feet ahead and not this... Well, I'll do it soon. I'll do it someday. I'm waiting for my friends to come around, or I'm waiting to finish school, or I'm waiting to fucking start it now. And maybe you're in school and you start a business. Maybe the business takes off. Stop school. Or whatever it is that you want to do. You do your thing. But there's no tomorrow. You know, I mean, it's really right now. That's the only time that's here. We could all be hit by an asteroid tonight that NASA never saw coming or whatever it is, but you never know.
The 3% of the sky that they watch.
Yeah, no, seriously. And that's the craziest.
With that budget.
Dude, space is another fucking... That's a whole nother world right there. But man, it's just, you know, you never see stuff coming, and so... Let's talk about your cookbook. Enough of the doom gloom. Do your stuff. And here's a man that said, you know what? Hey, I could die tomorrow. I'm going to make a cookbook.
Yeah.
And not many people can say, hey, I'm a published author. You know, you can go to your high school reunion and honestly say, what have you done? Oh, I published a book. I started a company, sold a company, did this, did that, did that. I work for a company. I make good money. I'm happy. I have a kid. Life's good.
Life is good.
And so you decided. How did you decide? I'm going to start a cookbook. Has cooking been a passion?
Somewhat. It's it all went back to going back to the vodka venture.
Okay.
My business partner and I, we ended up having different perspectives on how to proceed. So I handed the reins over and said, "Go ahead and pursue it." And I took about a month off, and it was the first time that I had done nothing.
Sure.
Outside of my day job, and so over that month, I started to think, well, what's a good business? What do I know? What's an industry that I thoroughly know? What do I love to do? What takes up a lot of my time? And how can I capitalize on that? And it ended up being xylitol. I mean, I know xylitol in and out.
It's true.
And facilitate a lot of the cooking segments and such on ABC.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of the recipes on there as well.
Sure.
And so naturally it was, okay, well, I have all these recipes. Why don't I just make this cookbook? I enjoy cooking. My daughter and I spent a lot of time together. My ex-wife and I, we had just split 6 months prior to that. And so it was a lot of family time with my daughter.
That's awesome. And that's another cool thing. You should talk about that. Or at least don't let me forget. But right before your daughter came out and stuff, the kind of life events and the shit, crazy storm ball that got thrown at you and how well you made it off. So, you know, you're about to have a baby, right?
Right.
Married, about to have your baby. Mm-hmm. What kind of happened a few days before and all?
Well, 2 months before, my wife at the time, she lost her job. Uh-huh. And then 2 days before my daughter was born, I lost my position. Mm-hmm. And so it was...
That's a scary feeling, man. I mean, you know... I think it's in everyone's mind and thoughts. Is, you know,
as a worst case scenario.
Sure.
And then it's, that would never happen.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah.
And so my wife at the time, after we had our daughter, she wanted to go back to school, and so she was going back to school, and so I was a stay-at-home dad. Well, I was running my motorsports company and then raising my daughter her first 2 years. And so that was awesome, a crazy experience. Like, guys aren't prepared to raise a child, let alone a daughter. Yeah. And so it was an adventure.
That's awesome.
And I'm absolutely thankful for it and appreciate every minute of it.
Yeah. And look, you made it off, man. So many people think that's the end of the road. Especially something like that. I mean, that's a scary thing. Your baby's about to come out. Both of you lose your job.
Both of us lost our jobs. How do you bounce back from that?
That's again, worst case scenario, and it happened. Yeah. And most people would quit, or they'd just mope around, or they would.
This is it for me.
This is it. This is. I mean, I guess
this is my reality.
Yep. And you made the best of it, man. And that another thing that I remember when we met at Chili's our first day when we were talking and stuff. How you said that you technically raised your daughter. And you were there for all of it from like age 2 and stuff. And the thing you said that I think that I really, really, it stuck to me or whatever is, there's a lot of people who go to school and they get in debt for, 2, 3, 4 years or whatever to go to this college to do this thing. And you spent that 2 years of your time, instead of doing that other stuff, you spent it raising the most developmental brain age time, and also the some of the greatest and most fun times you can have with a kid at that 2 years, and you were there for every moment of it. You got to enjoy it. When other people go again for 2-3 years and they hate it, they hate college for the next 2-3 years, and what a reward that must have been to
it's been incredible
and go out of there and do that, man. That's an awesome, awesome thing.
Yeah.
So cookbook. Know all about xylitol. Decided, hey, I'm going to throw this together.
Yeah.
Next step. What was the next step?
Next step was getting all my recipes together, and then a big part of the book was trying to showcase the diversity of products that you can make with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just desserts, because that's typically, it's a sugar, so naturally
Good point, yeah.
you make pie or you make
Yeah.
brownies with it. But then I took it into different ham glazes and chicken glazes and marinades and all sorts of different ways to diversify this simple product.
Yeah.
You know, and so another big part of it was trying to show that you can be a cool guy in the kitchen. You can be a cool dad in the kitchen. It's not this
It's not just a
far-fetched.
girl thing.
Yeah, it's not a feminine thing.
Sure.
You know?
I think it's badass. I don't... The first thing that I've ever really learned to cook, besides like following the instructions on the macaroni and cheese stuff, was chicken. My brother showed me one day he made this chicken. He would just take a chicken breast, chopped it all up or whatever, and put the sauces and things on it, and kind of just grilled it and stuff. And not only was it great for you, but I liked it, which is weird because I'm a very picky eater.
Yeah.
As you know. And I loved it, and I'm like, wow, this is the first thing I learned to cook. Mm-hmm. And so I made it for my wife, and she was impressed. Like, you made chicken? Like, it was cool for her because I actually made something. And it also boosted me up because I felt good on my confidence. I'm like, I cooked something.
I can
it was
do
my
this.
first little thing. It was my first step, but I was like, I did it. Wow. And I made it from scratch in a way. And it was awesome for me as a cool feeling. Also, I didn't feel girly at all. I'm like, I'm making some good chicken. And I love nothing more than a man that can really barbecue. If you can make some good steaks or good chicken, like my friend TJ makes an awesome steak. Mm-hmm. I think that's awesome. I think a man that can know how to cook and do that stuff it's awesome. I think it's great. So no, I 100% agree. I think it's very masculine if you can make a mean steak, and I think every girl should be able to. So that should be a huge thing that women should look for,
right?
Instead of always muscles. It's just like, this guy can cook, he does good, and then the muscles come up. But no, so you're doing that, you're setting it all up. How do you decide? How do you go about? I mean, so is there some writing, or is it strictly all? Yeah,
there was a lot of writing, and there was the pulling all the content together for it because I wanted to self-publish. I didn't want to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't want to build all of this so a publishing company could just exactly.
Sure, no, it makes sense. Yeah.
And so it was, where do I start? I need to get the recipes ready. I need to I do photography as well, and so I need to set up the shoots and all the food and the types of shots that I want, and then all the about the author and all that sort of content.
Sure. Yeah.
So I started interviewing photographers, creative directors, brought a couple on, and made it happen.
That's awesome, dude. So how did you? Is it finished, would you say?
It's finished on my end. It's just in the hand of my designer right now. He's just finishing the layout and all of that. So
that's awesome. So when can people expect to pick this up, hopefully? I mean, where are you planning on selling it, or is that next step?
Clear is actually helping to distribute it.
That's sweet. Smart man.
And then it's going to be available on my website and Amazon.com. You know,
cool, dude. That's awesome.
Making it readily available.
That's smart, man. I think I applaud you for doing self-publishing. In fact, randomly the other day, where is the book? Oh, it's right here. This guy comes and knocks on my door, and for sure I thought it was a missionary, or just some random guy selling another Book of Mormon DVD or something like that. Anyways, for some weird reason, I open up the door. I start talking to this guy. And he was going door to door selling his own book, and it was this.
Really?
And I didn't know what it was, and I haven't picked it up. I'm not gonna lie, but I think the guy, his name, let's see right here, is Lance Conrad. Straight out of here, Utah, went door to door selling his own book. Kind of gave a little spiel of what it was kind of about, the background, and the fact that he's doing completely. He has a publisher, I think. But anyways, I thought that was awesome. Like, here's a guy who's not just waiting for books to go off the shelf. He was going door to door and saying, "Hey, look,
it's making it happen.
I want to be big. I want to do something. I want to make it." And just for the fact of that, I mean, story or not, that's why I bought his book. I was like, "That's awesome. Good for you." Because any guy that's going to go out of his way I've never seen that tactic ever. Besides a Book of Mormon or a Bible or someone trying to shut something else down, I've never seen a guy or a publisher, the own author, walking door to door saying, "Hey, I worked really hard on this beautiful art, this painting, this my art. Would you like to own a copy of it, or can I tell you about it?" Or, "Hi, it's nice
fantastic.
to meet you, man." And I thought it was so cool. I think I've never seen this tactic ever done. And maybe, just for the fact of it, I'm gonna have to give it a read, because I think it's beautiful that someone can go out of their way and make art and something fun like that. And he's, goes to elementary schools to talk about it. He'll go. I know he was at the Saratoga Library, and he did a little thing he starts small, but you got to do what you got to do to make it. And so many people are lazy, or they don't want to do these things, and they just expect it to come to them.
It to come to them, exactly. And it's unfortunate because, everyone's so gifted. And, and it's just a matter of capitalizing on and recognizing those gifts and sharing them with the world.
Yeah, and people are willing to, I had no issue paying this guy for this book because I saw the beauty and the art of the fact of what he was doing, and I knew he believed in it. I knew that he wanted to make it, and it wasn't a guilt feeling. It wasn't like, oh well, I feel okay. Here, I'll buy your book.
Right.
It was because the guy went and knocked on my door asking to sell a book, and that's what I loved, and just the fact of that.
That hungry ambition.
Yeah, and
so
I was like,
admirable.
this is a guy. This is a Wolf of Wall Street. This is someone that really wants to do something. Wolf of Wall Street, by the way, another great movie, book as well. But that Jordan guy, dude, nothing motivated me more except for doing. I mean, it motivates you to do drugs, but it really motivates you, man, just to make some money and just to be an animal, just to realize that you really have one life and you're going to do it. Then go big again with the cheating, this and that. It's probably not the best thing to do, but the drive of the business, the mind, the wolf. Right. Beautiful. It was a beautiful story. I mean, again, it's a tale. It's a story. It's true.
He just got out of jail. I just saw that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, so he was still in jail when this was going on?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Well, what a man. He's a rich man.
I hope he got some royalties.
I'm sure he had to. His book's for sale at Barnes & Noble. It's a thick book. It's just Wolf of Wall Street.
I'll have to pick it up.
Yeah, I was going to pick it up, but I didn't know if I'd already seen it. Is it worth the read if it's the same thing? But even then, words are completely different than just a movie sometimes. So you've got that going. What are some other things that you can discuss or talk about? Some other, your vodka. Are you still thinking about popping back in that in?
Yeah, I've been considering it. I think that great demand for it. It's a very unique product.
I think it is, dude.
So maybe after the book is done, after it comes to market, finish the tour, all of that. So
that's what I was going to ask you. How have you, and this is my hardest issue, but as an entrepreneur, stuck to one thing and really stuck to it? I know your mind's maybe been floating one day and this and that, but
a million miles a minute. So many opportunities everywhere.
It's a joke. It's a joke, dude. I don't know if people understand it. I don't understand it, man, and I hate it, but I love it because I just write them all down. I mean, I still go through my books, and this whole journal, dude, is full of tons and tons. I fill that entire thing up with great ideas and stuff like that, and no matter what, if one stops and I jump right back in, that's a great idea. That was a great app. I should do that. I should do this, or a book. My next thing I want to do is a book. I've always wanted to write a book. You fulfilling your book shows me, again, one step up. I can maybe ask you some questions. What could I do? Where can I go? How do I self-publish? And this guy wants to be on the podcast as well. This that book guy, I got his info, and he wants to be on it and talk about that. So it's
great.
My next thing is I want to do, again, a self-help. Maybe we could even co-author or something fun like that. But self-help type, not necessarily on, who knows what, dude, but just self-help this age geared towards we're very different than our grandmas and our moms and our dad. Completely different. And I think that someone needs to, there are these great books like the 4 Agreements and that guy's amazing. The Secret, great. But sometimes, again, niche it a little bit more, get it more to a different market, a different type of person, of people, or maybe it's someone who just simply college isn't maybe his thing. Maybe he's thinking about joining the Navy. Exactly
that's what happened to me.
And just let's how do I make my little idea, my little Instagram twerk for ducks or whatever it is? How do I take the next step? Is it a T-shirt? Is it a book? Is it a website? Is it what do I need to do? Is it a YouTube page? Whatever it is, that next step in making it social, doing well, and also just life, women, men, or whatever, money, managing. Learning about the Millionaire Next Door. There's so many things. If we could all create that and throw that in one book. And I made a fun ebook that was only like 70 pages. But it was so fun for me. And it's just called Why You Don't Want the Job. But job staying just over broke or whatever. Yeah. And that's not what you want, because that's what I was. When I had when I had my job even back then and learning, it was always just over broke. You mean like when I get paid $700 that I have to spend it before the next 2 weeks on my next $700? Like, that was my mentality, is I have to Like, saving? What saving? I need to go to the mall and buy 5 pairs of this pair of Vans colors and this and this and this.
Socioeconomics at its finest. That's what you need to do.
And I found out the hard way. I mean, not necessarily the hard way, but it woke me up that it was like, oh, what? It was such a cool feeling just to even have, whether it was $150 left over to that next paycheck. I'm like, wait, now I have $850 in my banking account. Like, oh, cool. And that was back in the day, but it was such a good feeling to have rollover that I didn't spend that. I'm like, oh, then it becomes addicting. Then it's like, how much can I not spend this week? Live, survive, do well, still get all the things I want, and roll over. It's like, oh, dude, I get high on watching my bank account grow because I know I'm being more frugal. I'm being more millionaire next door like. I'm also, that's more money for me, or that's a future vacation. Many people blow money, and tons of studies have been found on just happiness. That happiness is more, if you're going to blow money and spend money on a vacation, your happiness level is completely radiant compared to a new brand LED TV. If you get that, it's beautiful. It's nice. Oh, like this iMac. I love this iMac to death. How often do I use this? For podcasting and maybe twice to surf the web real quick. But I had to have it at the time. My vacation I just took with my wife, loved it. Yeah, it was probably, it was 2 or 3 of these, but it was well worth it because it was those experiences, swimming with turtles and going to Atlantis and just spending time together and going on a big world's cruise ship that I always, in fact, I wrote it in my gratitude journal years ago, was just go on the world's biggest cruise ship because I saw it one time and then I went and I did it. And that was a big achievement for me. Enough for that was like, oh shit, this is cool because I have so much more happiness level compared to, and again, I was stupid enough. I bought the brand new Xbox and I love it to death, but my happiness level for that compared to the trip I just took, it's a penny.
Right.
It's nothing. It's just, again, an object. That new car is going to be sweet for that first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, you got a new car? Sweet. You vacuum it out. You clean it out. Then you get sick of it. Then you start leaving a Wendy's bag in there. And then, whatever. But it becomes it becomes normal. Right. If you're a total millionaire, again, if you are raised rich as a kid, the first class on a plane, completely normal. But it makes you appreciate a lot more these travels, these trips, these adventures, these surfing, this Hawaii, or the cruise with your family. That's where I try to spend my money now, or events or things, or maybe it's going out to the bar with some friends up in Park City and having sleeping over in a hotel. Fun experience. We do fun things. I'll remember those memories compared to, let me go out and get, a GoPro or something. GoPro's a little different. I shouldn't have said that. That's my next purchase, and that's it, man.
It's a write-off. It's an investment. It's a business investment.
Making tons of fun videos and do it for the podcast. Hopefully, I can start getting some videos going for this thing. But either way, and I've just noticed that. And how is it for you? Have you noticed where do you find most happiness? Well, here's another thing that kind of goes with parenting. I'm going to throw out.
Yeah.
But like for my dog, I have my dog. I was at Walmart yesterday, and I got him I enjoyed and didn't mind spending money on getting him a certain dog treat or a toy. I can't imagine that for my kid that's about to pop up. Like, oh, he needs these Vans, or it's this, or I got to get the clothes for this or that. Like, I won't feel that guilty spending money on my kids, or again taking my kid to the aquarium. That's going to be awesome because I got to see my kid for the first time see a penguin. I'm like, whoa, what is that? Like that is going to be happiness for me compared to let's go buy a new Xbox game.
Right.
It's how has it been for you? What do you find your most happiness to spending money? I guess if you splurge, what do you find?
It's really been investing in my daughter and those experiences.
That's
even
awesome.
Thursday, Tuesdays and Thursdays I usually go to the gym, so I'm up at 4 a.m. and then hit the office. I'm in the office all day. Pick up my daughter, and then I wanted to take her to this carnival. So we go to this carnival, and it's $10 for some cotton candy.
Yeah. Oh, seriously.
$20, $30 for all the rides.
Yep.
And the look on her face, the sheer enjoyment, excitement, it was priceless. I would do it again. If the carnival was still in town, I'd do it tonight.
That's so awesome. I can't wait, dude. I really can't wait to be, so many people, and even myself, looking back as a year ago, if you would have told me today I would be having a kid this young or this whatever, I'd be laughing. I'd be like, that sucks for that guy. Or, oh, yeah. Because I think, and we're all like that. That's a normal, I think it's kind of, at least I believe we are I believe in evolution. So I believe in flat out that we come from apes, that we are flat out. We are an animal. We're just a different species. And so I think that's just part of, I don't want to call it masculinity or whatever, but it's kind of weird. It's normal for someone who's not in that position to look at someone in that position and say, I would never want that, or, oh, poor sap, or whatever it is, until you're in that position. I can't be more excited, dude. I cannot wait to just, again, take my kid to the carnival and watch it go down the sack slide or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, it will be priceless. Disneyland will be a whole nother, that will be ecstasy. It will be an amazing thing, and also such a benefit and joy to my life, because maybe I come home and I love my dog, but he can't talk back to me. We hang out, we go on a walk, he makes me laugh, and he squeaks some toys, and we have some good times. But a kid that can talk back or say these funny things or pick up on, maybe one of my bad habits, and he probably shouldn't say that, buddy, something like that it's just gonna be,
and it's you,
pure joy, and it's you
and your
straight
wife.
off
It's
of me, man.
Incredible.
And just knowing that I can create someone who could be better than me. That's what I mean. I think
that's the end game for everyone. It's just to create someone's better than them that contributes more, and it's just more amazing.
I hope so, man. I think that's 100% right. It's just I think that every father, my dad beat the shit out of me, and we had some good talks. We had some good fights. I love my dad now. Thank goodness I can look back and say that. But at the time, I hated him. I hated my dad because he would just. We fought. We did not ever see eye to eye. We'd get in physical fights and stuff. And I just had this hate and anger for him for a long time until I finally just learned to let it go and heal and move past it. But his dad would do the same thing to him, even worse. And it's this thing about, okay, how do I discipline my kid? And it's this, and I'm sure it was a hellion. I'm not saying I didn't deserve it. I probably did. But it's just I want to make sure. So again, it's this one step up. Can I make my kid better? Can I try to make sure not to do what my parents did that I didn't like? Can I and be better and better and better and better? Because I don't ever want to hit my kid. There's a lot of other different ways to discipline besides beat the shit out of your kid. It didn't work for me. It made me
a lot more productive.
Him, made me hate him more. Exactly. And why not tell me why? And a lot of it and thank goodness that my wife and I aren't going to run into this issue, is the religious reasons. We wouldn't see eye to eye, or even if I got a Dr. Pepper, like, I'm 8 years old and mom and dad aren't looking, so, can't have caffeine, but I fill up a Dr. Pepper. She knows. I would get yelled at and scream, stupid stuff over certain things and stuff like that. And I'm not... I guess that's a really bad example for religion-wise, but it's just that I'm not going to run into those issues because my wife and I are both not religious, but I want to explain to my kid why you probably shouldn't be doing that, why you shouldn't say that, why you shouldn't bully this kid or tease this kid, or why you shouldn't be their friend, or why, give explanations on, okay, it's probably not good to swear, but let me tell you why.
This is why.
And let me, or whatever it is that I have to explain. My parents didn't do that. They never taught me that. They just said, don't do it. You can't have a girlfriend. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't share experiences. You can't go to any sleepovers. You can't, goes on and on. But they never explained why. It was just my way or the highway. And I resented that and I hated that because there was never an explanation. With my kid, I want to try, and I don't know how this has worked for you. Maybe you haven't. Fill me in. But, I guess I want to instill why. If they have a question or something, it's instead of me just telling them straight up how it is, like, is there a God or is there a Jesus up there? Instead of me saying, well, no, son, duh. Who told you that? I would just simply say, well, what do you think? Do you think there's a guy up there? And
right,
let him
let's
answer. Let him figure it out. And let's talk about science. I want him to question everything. I want him to. Instead of him saying no, I want him to say why.
Well, that's what stimulates imagination and innovation and inventions, really.
Sure. No, you're right.
You want to keep that going, keep that childhood curiosity, curate your childhood curiosity.
Sure.
And let them run with it. Let it blossom into something.
Have you found yourself becoming more of a, I don't want to say a child, but has it brought back some of those certain fun emotions, those things?
Yeah.
Watching your kid relive like Disneyland or something, for me, or Lagoon, right? I go to Lagoon today. It's so boring. Like I'm over it. I'm done with it. But taking my kid to, even if it's a little boat ride that goes in 10, not even 10 miles an hour, if it goes in a circle and she's ringing the bell and she's having a good time, I'm fulfilled. I'm having a good time. I'm laughing because I remember. I have pictures of me on that same ride. I remember those experiences, those things, the joy that I felt when I was a kid, and I don't want to cheat my kid out of it. What have you?
It's like the carnival. Life is so simple. Seeing her go around on the carousel. And,
sure.
You know,
you're
it's
right.
so exciting, and she's ear to ear smile, and I can remember what that's like. I can relive my enjoyment through her.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better way to spend my time or money.
Amen, man. See, I'm really excited. I want to spoil my kid. I want to have a good time with my kid, but I want to teach him life lessons. Again, I say I make it really rich, and I sold some business or something for $20 million. My parents never gave me a car till I was 18. I mean, they never gave me a car, but I couldn't start driving until I was 18 because, again, there's some stupid stuff. My mom ripped up my driving permit because she was mad that I was going out on a date with this girl. It's some retarded, crazy stuff.
Right.
But you know, I was never given a car. I was never given anything really in life and certain things like that. And I want my kid to kind of have the same thing. Whether we are completely rich, I want them to work for it. I want them to have a job at 16. I want them to know what it's like to work for their money. I'm not going to give them this and that. Yeah, I'll help them here and there, and I'll buy their clothes and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously. But I'm not going to be, well, let me go buy you a brand new car. It's like, you meet me halfway. Or, you know, here's some stuff. You know, anyways, things like that.
Right. Like complimentary parenting. It shouldn't just be I'm going to give you the world. So that way they appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't want them to cheat. I don't want them to feel like the lottery. They just won the lottery by being born into this family, that they get everything that they want, that you know, it's the exact opposite. I want them to hopefully either start their own business or go to college, or to do whatever they're going to go do, but I want them to figure it out for themselves. I don't want them to be given anything. If I start my own business and I need some work, like Mikkel, what I loved about her when I met her is, you know, I was working since I was 14 as a ski instructor at Deer Valley. She was working and doing, her mom's a sewer, a professional sewer, and she'd have to sew tons and tons of things. So she started doing piece rate, but she wanted a cell phone at 14 back in the day. And anyway, so her mom no one was going to buy her a cell phone. She wanted a cell phone. While all of her friends were out running in front of the neighborhood, you know, the window's wide open, and she's sewing with her mom. She sees all of her friends having fun, but she wanted that cell phone. She's got to work for it.
Priorities.
And so she learned about that. She bought her own car. She paid off her car. She did this. She did that. She learned all this stuff. But because her mom, I mean, they weren't wealthy and ridiculously rich, but she wanted to say, no, you want a phone? You pay for your phone. Well, we'll be happy to take you down and go get things started, but you got to work. You got to pay for it. You have to do this. So since she was 13 or whatever, she was doing that stuff, and it was nice because I want my kids to be the same way. I don't want to cheat them out of that. I would hate to have cheated. And looking back, you know, I'm sure it would have been easier to have mom and dad buy me everything, whatever.
Oh, of course.
But later on in life, mom and dad die, something happens, maybe maybe I don't get any money or whatever. Or you just learn to start expecting things in life, and when they don't go your way is when you get more mad and cheat. Anyways.
Well, you become a victim.
Yeah.
You become a victim
of
your circumstances.
Sure.
You know, it's why me. It's why me. Instead of, you know what, this is what happened. I'm not what happened to me. I create my own future.
Yeah. Another friend of my exactly. A friend that I work with and stuff, he was telling me that anyways, one of his friends is a farmer. Really wealthy, had a ton of land. I don't know where it was, Salem or anyways, had a ton of land. Ended up somehow acquiring like 4 different farms. And he had 3 kids, and he told his kids flat out, he's like, you know, when you graduate and when they get married, he would give them this gift. He said, okay, either I can give you the farm, you can have the farm, it's all yours, or I'll just buy your first home. And all the kids chose to buy the first home. Ends up that the farms were worth $4 or $5 million. The dad knew that. You know, it's kind of like that penny thing. Son, I'll give you a penny every day, or I'll give you $1 million up front. The guy's going to blow it, but a penny a day is just going to grow. Or he'll double it every day, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, that idea. It's the same thing. Anyways, so yeah, they ended up doing that, and who's kicking themselves now? And Dad said, well, I told you guys could, this is your farm. You could do anything you wanted with it. And the dad knew that the money, you know, the land was whatever, but they just saw the instant gratification now. That's another, I mean, we've all been, I think, that's where society's always kind of coming to, and whether it's instant food, whether it's instant relationships, instant love, instant sex, instant whatever it is, it's instant gratification. We want that now. That's why, and there's a good, what book is it? The art of war or something. It's all about creativity and how to
strategize.
Stop procrastination and things like that. And so many people would be doing businesses or startups and things, and that so many men would stop when they're really getting whatever and they're getting frustrated. They'd masturbate, get that instant gratification, and then they'd become lazy and they'd stop, and it would become procrastination because it was just a way to fulfill my instant gratification instead of doing the harder work, taking more time doing the thing. And there's nothing wrong with masturbating, but it's just that it was telling us that we're more triggered for the instant gratification instead of working piece by piece harder,
for the long term strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. That's all. But so what other kind of things you got going on, or what else do you want to talk about? Throw out, shout out.
Let's see.
You're good. Let's see. Got your book coming out here soon.
Yeah.
You got things going on. How do you? Well, obviously, you love being a father.
Yeah.
What are some tips you can give to a guy who's about to become a father? And lots of listeners, actually, probably a lot of listeners are about to become a father.
It's nothing like you expect.
What?
It doesn't matter how many classes you take, because I took all the classes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I took the classes at the hospital on, how to be a good parent. There's like a series of courses to take.
Sure. Okay.
So naturally, I want to be the best dad, so I'm going to be taking on these courses, and then you're in it, and it's, waking up all the time, and still, it builds you a lot of patience. That's probably the biggest thing I've gotten. Is the patience, because I was very impatient before. I mean, I'm racing cars, I'm building businesses, and now I have a baby.
Yep, yeah.
A complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Sure. And plan changed, right?
Yeah,
because you weren't
certainly. I was planning on building a motorsports career.
Yeah.
And now I'm a dad, and I'm in the corporate world, and I'm building digital media plans.
Exactly. Yeah.
So. Be patient.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay. Definitely. I think that's great. What?
Well, they say that men's testosterone levels drop by that's a significant percentage, like 40%.
When the kid comes?
Well, yeah, once you have a kid.
I believe it.
So that affects a lot of different things. It affects your state of mind. It affects your physical performance at the gym. It affects everything.
That's interesting.
And so taking that into perspective, and now, the purpose behind that, the theorized purpose behind it, is that back when we were cavemen and such, a man with as much testosterone before having a kid would kill a kid.
Yeah.
Because that's getting in the way of the other things of...
Sure.
You need sex, food, water.
That's all they want.
That's all that matters.
That's still all people want. Let's be honest here. But you're right, yeah.
And so if you have those high testosterone levels, of course, those are going to be your three priorities. And naturally, those situations would occur.
That's really interesting. I never heard that.
Yeah.
But, no, it's completely true. I know the same for anxiety and stuff is humans have evolved so fast since cavemen and being around, again, if you believe in it, whether you do or don't, it's still true.
It's still science.
I don't care. But from the time of that is anxiety. Back then, again, you're searching for food. You have anxiety of, I've got to survive. I need fire. I need food. I need shelter. I need to survive and not be eaten or killed. I mean, I don't know if you've seen A Million Ways to Die, and that was just in the West. But, I mean, that was just how many years ago. But imagine way back then, you got everything.
Everything was trying to kill you.
Back then, I mean, they had saber-toothed tigers jumping and going crazy and chasing them, and woolly mammoths or who knows, whatever else.
And you were sleeping in caves with centipedes that would...
Exactly. How many poisonous things. And you didn't have any doctor to go to or some remedy or even liquor or whatever it was. It's just... Yeah,
it's what it is.
Yep. And so, in order to survive in these certain things, your body had this super anxiety, this testosterone, this adrenaline, this, oh, crap. This whatever. So humans have evolved so freaking fast that when now people have anxiety attacks and this crap, or and they're freaking out because maybe they went on lunch break and they came back 15 minutes late and boss knows about it and boss is a little pissed and he's just why are you 15 minutes late? People have these panic attacks and certain things because we've evolved so fast that's our now anxiety. That's our thing. And you can totally cope with it. You can learn with it. You can deal with it. But just that so many people have anxiety over desk jobs and the cubicles and these crazy things that really again, we just haven't evolved fast enough to meet up with slowing that down to where we are now because technology. I mean, just a lot of things. We've just evolved really fast, but that. I don't wake up in the morning freaking out. Oh shit! There might be some jaguars on the way to work today. There might be, you don't have that instant anxiety, and so when it comes, it comes. Whereas it might have been an everyday occurrence back then. That was just they're always hyphy. They always have their testosterone. They're
ready to
adrenaline.
go.
It's hunt. It's going on. They're back for days. They have to go. They have to survive, to live, to have a meal. You got to do what you got to do. And I'm sure that even a lot of parts of Africa or more rural areas, maybe in the Amazon and things like that, it's still that you got to do it. If you want to survive, you got to do it. And there's totally cultures out there that's still like that. But here in the cubicle, people are they have these panic attacks and these things, but it's really. You can learn to deal with it, or better yet, get out of the cubicle.
Get out of it.
Find another way to do it, or
diversify your income streams, and
exactly. And make the anxiety a real reason to have anxiety,
right?
Not just this. Oh, boss is mad. Oh, what if he writes me up? If I get one more. Oh, if I get it's really not a life or death thing. It's more just a. I don't want someone to be mad or sad, or what if someone doesn't like my Instagram pictures, or whatever it is.
How many likes did I get on that?
Yeah, right. Or oh my gosh, that girl is hanging out with so and so, and then just the mind starts driving. Oh, they must be dating. They must be. Oh my gosh, or Anyways, on and on. But it's all evolutionary that we're kind of catching up to things. The future looks bright. It looks cool. I hope. It also looks scary too, though. It looks really scary because I don't know what's going on. I mean, NSA, police are getting crazier. TSA going through the airport's getting
NSA
nuttier,
up the street, right? That's your
I
neighbors.
Throw a rock, man. It's scary. And who knows where we're going in this future? And there's going to be some weird stuff. But I think at the end of the day, and the best thing that's helped me chill out from anxiety, worry, stress, stuff that I can't have any control of, is I kind of stopped watching the news. I have nothing against news. I think it's great to know what's going on in the world. You have to know to an extent. But I hated seeing today a girl got ran over by trucks, and it was this, then it was that, then it was this house fire, then it was...
We should start a show called Good News.
Dude, I'm so down.
And only talk about, hey...
I thought about that, man.
3 Boy Scouts today helped this old lady cross the street.
Yeah. Here's a video.
There's a million things like that. I don't need to hear about the
last
last homicide. I don't want to hear about the kid found in the woods. No,
it's horrible. It's sad, but
at
the end of the day,
it perpetuates fear.
Exactly, and they
and it's a fear culture. That's what causes the anxiety. That's what creates all these situations of people going into their minds and creating these situations of. It's not just getting written up. It's my job on the line. It's my next meal on the line.
No, yeah, for sure.
It perpetuates that whole fear mindset.
To have, exactly.
It's unfortunate.
No, you're right. I think that's a great idea, dude. We should talk about that sometime.
Good.
I think that'd be good.
I'm going to trademark it.
Do it right now. But anything else? You have any questions, Hunter?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, we've been doing this for about 2 hours. I think we should call it good to go. But
all right.
Do you have any shout outs you want to give out to your daughter, friends, family, people who have supported you, anyone that you think might be listening tonight, or anything? Any shout outs you want to give out, I guess?
Yeah. First and foremost, my daughter. I mean, she's my motivation. She's my heart.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Thank you. And my family, my parents helped to build and to instill these values of hard work and creativity and making the most out of any opportunity, not becoming that victim of your circumstances.
Amen, man. It's good. That's awesome.
And my best friend Kai, she has a show coming out on TLC, The Next Great Baker.
Oh, awesome!
Mm-hmm. It's going to be coming out next week.
So her name's Kai.
So she's working with her aunt, Kai and Rocks.
Okay, and it's called The Next Great Baker.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, check it out, dude. I'll start watching it.
They got a Facebook page, like them.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. No, she's She's got some awesome cakes, man. She's very, very talented.
She's very talented, yeah.
Good for her, dude.
Gifted.
That's awesome. Well, see, all it takes is that next big step. Whether it's the TV and again, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean that's what it really takes to get that courage. That's why
grow.
Trying to empower people, get them out of their comfort zone, let them see the value in themselves,
and that you are okay. And also, it is okay to get embarrassed and made fun of. And if you fail,
You learned something.
That's all it is. It's just a life school. You failed. Okay, I'll never do that again.
Lesson learned.
But finally, once you start picking up all the fails and all the rights, then when you finally get that one business, all it takes is one business idea, one any idea. Maybe it's American Idol, one chance, one whatever, and you do it perfectly. Your life can be set. You're good to go. But if you don't take it, don't expect anything to come. Don't sit and wish. I don't care how much you believe in the law of attraction or whatever. If you don't take any action in the words, law of attraction, if you don't take any action, what the hell?
It's not going to yield anything.
You're doing nothing. I think people need to give themselves more credit. Once so many people, thank you God, or thank you. It's so many other. You're almost cheating yourself out of the gratification. The fact that you did it. I'm sorry, you're the one who got the job, or you're the one who made yourself, or you're the one who made those stickers and those business. So many things that we've done or that you've done. You made the cookbook. Don't you dare! Oh, thank you God for doing. No, you did it, Ryan. You found the publisher. You made the pictures. You did your thing. Don't cheat yourself out of that, because it's more people need to give themselves more credit. Is all I'm saying. Because you just gotta you did it. Give yourself it. Love yourself for it. Appreciate yourself for it. And grow yourself from it. I think it's awesome. You go to school. You go and become a good engineer.
Go become an engineer.
A house or something.
Or a bridge.
Yeah. A cool bridge. The next futuristic hoverboard bridge. That's what I want.
I'll find something else.
Yeah, I watched Back to the Future 2 yesterday. And they go to the future, 2015. I didn't even realize that. I was watching it. They have the hoverboards, all these flying cars everywhere, all these instant Pepsi machine thing, obviously, and none of them were near.
None of that happened.
That's so much future, but it was funny. It's like, that's next year. I hope we get it, but there's no way. It was really, it was funny to watch because they made that in the 80s, thinking, by then for sure we're gonna have this,
right.
And I'm sure everyone else was thinking the same thing. Oh yeah, we'll have driving cars or flying cars, and we'll have this, and exact opposite. But it was so funny. Good time. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Mr. Hunter?
Ryan. I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Definitely an intelligent man. Definitely be staying in contact. Christian for having me over again.
No problem. Anytime, buddy. That's it, I guess. Thanks for letting me use the GoPro, by the way. Had a good time on the vacation. I'm glad I can remember the memories by making a cool video. Yeah, now I'm going to buy a GoPro.
Turned out really good.
By making more happy videos of happy locations and happy visits, not filming my Xbox or stuff. Maybe I will. I don't know. But anyways.
We need to find something else to videotape.
Dude, we should. And that's what I really want to do, is by having it, I'll be mad to watch it. And again, you only said you've used it once. It would piss me off to see that thing that I bought and I'm like, I'm not even using this.
Looking you in the face, right?
I gotta go do something. Whether it's in the car. I think that would be fun because I don't know if you know who Louis. What's his name? Louis C.K. or whatever, the funny comedian. He's like bald, red hair. I don't know. Anyways, he's got a good show called Louis. But he does this thing on YouTube called I don't know, Cars with Comedians or something. And he'll it's John Seinfeld. I don't know. Anyways, it's two comedians. I don't know if it's Seinfeld or if it's him. But anyways, they'll get in the car and they just have GoPros and they'll just drive and just talk about funny things that they see. They'll talk about just life or experience. But it's perfect. All it took was them to hop in a car, two funny people, and talk about stuff. Wave to people, but say funny things or just talk about random stuff.
Talk about life, yeah.
But exactly. Like all it would take is a nice plop it in your car and have a good conversation when you talk about it. Or film what your car is seeing. All those Russians. You ever gone on YouTube and watched Russian car videos? Those guys have the craziest car crashes in the world, man. But everyone has a GoPro because they see the craziest stuff every day that if they miss it, they'll be so mad. It's so crazy. That's for insurance reasons. I guess they're really crazy there.
Yeah, they just opened up insurances.
Really?
And so people are making all these claims. So you have to have a dash cam of some sort or else.
I think that's a great idea. To an extent. Plus, you can find some, just hilarious stuff. But also those like epic wins where people almost get hit, but they don't. It's like, oh. But then you see all the ones that fail too, and those are crazy. But
I saw an STI pull a semi across some railroad tracks.
See?
Yeah.
Cameras,
GoPro.
Man. That's where it's going, dude. Crazy stuff. There's some awesome
get some
GoPro
live feeds
videos,
going.
Dude. That guy's a billionaire. That's crazy, dude.
There's another company based here. I forgot the name of them. They're out of Provo.
Okay.
And they have another small, portable, sports active type camera. And theirs is a different shape. It's like a like a cylinder almost.
Oh, okay. I've seen those.
Yeah.
I've seen them like at ski shops and
Yeah, I
stuff
can't
back in the
remember
day.
what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
wait, are those any better? Would you say, or maybe
I have no
need to look
idea.
into it then?
I have no
'Cause maybe
idea.
that
I
was
just
better.
came across them, and I'm thinking aerodynamics because racing cars
Sure.
and things like that. I mean,
Sure.
a cylinder is much better than a square,
No, you're right. You're right.
and so I just came across them a few weeks ago. But I love
check 'em out,
supporting local businesses and
No,
such.
I'm all for it too, dude. Utah's a good area to live in as an entrepreneur and stuff. I've noticed.
Oh, definitely.
I just wish one thing I've noticed though, and maybe you can tell me if you felt the same way, but I've noticed whether really close friends and family, like with our stickers, many of them don't support in the sense of like they're almost envious or mad that I got off my ass and I built something for myself and I'm doing well, and they never thought it would do well, kind of thing. And I'm sure you're going to get shit for the cookbook. I mean, just in the sense of like that people aren't going to support, not buy, not
Right.
like your Instagram pictures because you're doing good
Just
or
because,
whatever.
right.
Because you're happy that you're doing well, because you're following your dreams, and every time they see you through Instagram or that maybe it's an interview or ABC4, F Ryan, it's because they see everything they wish they were and they're not. They're
just
still at
reminds me
home
of-
liking it at their 9 to 5 quick little job doing whatever. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. I got a job, he's got a job, everyone's got a job.
Right.
But don't be stupid enough just to go do your own thing right off the bat and without it. Be smart financially, build your thing, then grow into that your beautiful in business, your ideas, your invention, whatever it is out there. But I've always noticed that here I've had a hard time, and that's probably anywhere, to be honest. I'm not just saying Utah, I guess. Except if I was in California.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure it'd be
think,
the
I
same
think it's
way.
anyone. I mean,
People-
the end game is to
envy, man.
build your empire and inspire others.
Yes, exactly. And so I try to find ways to make sure that people will feel completely stupid not being happy or supportive for me. So I'm a coach for the Special Olympics. Like I'll try to, there's no excuse for the guy who's sitting at home doing nothing but work and then Xbox. I'll go out and I'll be in this activity. I'll go do Special Olympics. I'm a coach. I'll go and do this. I go and do that. I'll try to be everywhere doing everything and still having all these good things going for me. And I just want to hear their excuse. Like, oh, you're too busy? I'm sorry. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Things like that. It's just, if I want to give someone no reason to have any excuse for why they're not doing something themselves.
There aren't
Again,
I mean,
inspire, make
there
them
aren't
happy.
any good reasons.
Teach them. Just
There's
say, look, you can
excuses.
do a million
There's
things.
excuses that people make up in their head, like, "Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I have a kid now, so I can't
Exactly.
possibly consider starting
always
this
hear that.
venture."
Yep.
When everyone can.
Yep. A good book, by the way, talking about this, it's all really on all entrepreneurship is it's called The Hero. The third book, no, fourth, I guess technically, of The Secret. That lady, she wrote one, but it's all entrepreneurs. The guy from Paul Mitchell's in it. The GoPro guy for a second's in it. The guy who started Kinko's. So all it is just these questions and topics they'll talk about, like how did you kind of start up or whatever, and they'll each tell their little stories and bits, and they'll answer all the questions through the entire book. My dog ate it, otherwise I'd show you. Yeah, I came home just The Hero. I'll show. I have
Good
the audio book
excuse.
for it. Yeah, I know, right? I finished it. I come home one day and it's sitting there on the floor in pieces. And I'm like, glad I finished it at least. But it was such a good book, dude, because the entire time it's just saying. Like, there was a girl, I can't remember what company she started, some hair company or nail company. I don't know. Anyways, she was from Russia. Her name was, like, Anastasia, I think. But it's not the movie. Anyway, so she came over here. Yeah. And I remember she talked about this part, like, how did I get anyone to invest in me? Because she had no job. She had 4 kids. She had this little company that she wanted to build and do. And she was trying to convince Wells Fargo in L.A. to loan her the money. So she sat out there and she said, I will light myself on fire in front of your bank if you don't give me this loan. And they saw the drive and they were like, wow, okay. And she didn't start, but anyways, they gave her the money. And then she went out in Beverly Hills, bought a little nail salon place, and it took off like crazy busy. And there was huge long lines and all this stuff, and the bank had no idea that it was going to be that big and stuff like that. But it was her drive that made them wake up and say, she's real. She really wants to do this. Like, she was being dead serious. She had nowhere else to go. She came over here with no money. And that's the funny thing is you'll learn and listen to the 14 or 15 people in that book, and they're all in the same position. No money. They didn't go to college. They didn't do their job. I mean, they didn't, all these things, and you realize they were in debt. They had nothing going for them. They tried a million things. They've done, all these things. And Kinko's was just a random idea that this guy was sick of going to his college copy center.
Yeah.
Got sick of it. Decided, I'm just going to open my own. huge, because he got sick of waiting in the long lines, and it made perfect sense. He saw a need. I'll take it. Drive. Start one. Okay. This is working. Go number 2. Another. I'm thinking here locally. And I hate that place. I don't know why. I just don't like. I mean, I think it's really, to be honest, I'm very envious of how well they took off and crazy, and how many people talk about it. It's very hipster like. That Waffle Love place. You hear always those people fucking
guilty
that waffle stuff.
It was at the carnival. I went there on Thursday.
See,
guilty.
But I'm more pissed because of how well they're doing. I think it's awesome. Again, I'm putting myself in the position that I believe others are in, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't go try a waffle or whatever, but I just see, okay, they got a business down in Provo. I just saw barely opened up a business. Saw on Fox 13 News the other day that 1 million people are talking about it, and you hear Waffle Love, Waffle Love, Waffle Love, and I see a truck, and wow, but all it was just waffles in the truck and good whatever. And then there's J Dogs. That guy just started out of BYU in a little stand, made $1 million, bought one, built another one here in Lehigh. Okay, so again, it's starting small, starting very small, but realizing supply demand. Okay, it's gonna work. Xylitol.
And
I don't know of any
your
books that are
model.
cooking books. I don't know anything about this. It's kind of a new thing. A lot of people are going to learn about it, know about it. But, hey, I want to learn to cook with it. There's one, or I don't know how many. Are there any other cookbooks out there you know of?
There was one.
Okay, so your competition's one.
Yeah.
And you're new. So there's a new reason for another person to buy that book if they have that book.
Right.
New recipes,
I think all competition is complementary. It demands you to step up your game.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do next? How are you going to be better? How are you going to incentivize your customer better?
For sure. For sure. I think that's fantastic. And that's it, man. I just want to thank you for being on the show, Ryan.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hunter, of course. And
pleasure meeting you, Hunter.
Yeah, nice meeting you. Definitely learned a lot.
Yeah, man.
Nice meeting you.
And thanks for listening, guys. I hope you learned something. Jake from Australia, I hope it's not too late. Thanks for staying up with us. Or too early, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Omar,
Appreciate
shout
it.
out. And anyone else who's a business owner and entrepreneurship, I hope you picked up at least one thing. They've had to have picked up more than that. But at least one thing you can apply to yourself today that you can learn, that you can try doing. I know I did. I just hope that you guys can pick something up and apply it to yourself. Don't wait till tomorrow. You could be the guy in the dentist chair. I mean, you never fucking know what's going to happen. So do it now. No excuse. Get off fucking Facebook and start Googling stuff. Watch YouTube videos. Figure it out. Do it off of what you already know or what you're really good at in business, whatever it is you got to do. But that's
Make it happen.
Like this podcast. It's just a fucking microphone and we're talking. That's it. I mean, I'm 50 episodes in, almost 60, and all it is simply talking, and I enjoy it, but I don't really make money off of it yet. But someday. That's all. Anyways, guys.
That's what matters.
Thanks for listening, guys. That's it, man. Shout outs. Thanks. That's it.